Back, everyone. It is good to see everyone back. We got the squad here. I want to first start out just by saying thanks, guys. I see Kenan dropping new bling, The only thing I'm surprised about is that either it's not solid gold or he just upgraded to platinum. And the way the price of precious metals are going right now, my man's rolling in it. Hey, good to see everybody. We got Larry down there visiting with Josh. Me and Keenan are going to have to stumble in there about 4 in the morning someday, ringing in the doorbell and sneaking in there. But it's good to have the team all together again. It's been wild over this year. And I know a lot of people are wondering, what's the crew going to bring to us? What knowledge nuggets are we going to have? And last time we were on here, it was pure fire. We came here with a goal to help people. Hopefully, we're going to be able to do the same thing today. Share some of the moves we've all been making. I know I made a few moves. I know these gentlemen out there have been absolutely crushing it. We got a link to our Discord down below. You guys can take advantage of that. And for all the new members I see signing up here on my channel, I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. But first thing I want to say, thank you for being here. We got Stocks with Josh, Keenan Grace, Stock Up with Larry Jones, and of course myself, Stock Mo. I want to start and just allow you guys to kind of give me your idea of what's going on and, the general thing. We'll start with you, Keenan. Let's see if I can remember how to do this here. Oh yeah, I got it. Boom.
So, all right, this is just a little prop that I got from the artist T-Pain. I recently seen him, and he's looking good, man. He's looking good. He's on his 20th year of a tour, and he put this big A chain. It's a family show. I had to clean it up.
Appreciate that.
Had to clean it up, but it just goes to show with somebody who came out maybe 2005 that if you stick to something for a long time, family, it don't matter if you at the top or you feel like things ain't going how they used to go or whatever, you could still push and you could still make so much money. And honestly, I'm going to bring this back up. So when I went to the T-Pain concert with my wife, right, both of us, we went to it, and it was a 20-year anniversary. We had seen a clip online about this big A chain. So he said he spent $400,000. This is plastic. This is a prop. He said he spent $400,000 on it. And he said that it was a terrible investment. It was a terrible idea. Two things, though. If it was a solid gold chain and it was real gold, the price of gold hit all-time highs. So I don't know about the markup that he might have paid on the gold, though. But if so, the meltdown value has to be insane. But then here's another thing. And I want you guys to think outside of the box. And this is something that he was doing, thinking outside of the box. He actually put this, I got pictures of it on my wife and on myself, different, like of this. So in the past, it was, he thought a bad investment, but now it's something that he's known for, kind of like me with the oven mitts, right? And he is now charging the VIP fee so he can put this chain on you. So I'm sure, and I calculated it out, with what he charges, it would roughly, he had to put it on maybe 2,000 people or so, and he totally paid off the chain, the original investment. And there were, who knows how many people signed up for the VIP, and this is at one concert. So sometimes you might think you're making a decision that you can't see the end goal of it up front, but if you stick to the plan and you follow through and you're creative, you could really turn something around. And I wanted to just say that to say, at the end of the day, family, if you ever mess up, try to see the silver lining in it. If you ever make an error, you ever lost some money doing something, try to see, what did I learn from this? What did I do that is going to help me to use this as a springboard rather than a roadblock? And here's an example. Mo, can you bring up my screen?
Yep.
You guys heard of the cup and handle pattern before? Have you ever heard of the cup and rocket pattern? Family, this is Robinhood, the Robinhood app. And one thing that I wanted to just bring to everybody's attention, and I found this to be very interesting. Back in the day, right, when Robinhood went public, early 2021, they came out at about somewhere around, let's say, $80 a share, somewhere around. They popped up, but then they came all the way down to $6 a share. This is when everything was going on with GameStop, when they took away the buy button. Everybody hated Robinhood. I never jumped on a Robinhood hate board. I did agree that that wasn't right. They took away the buy button. But one thing I noticed, objectively speaking, Robinhood went on the rocket that they wanted AMC to go on and GameStop to go on. But it was actually Robinhood, which was the stock that actually did exactly that. And it doesn't mean that, you know, you got to give up on your AMCs and your GameStops. But it means is don't put your heart all in on one stock, because then you'll miss out on things like this. You'll miss out on a gold mine that's right in front of you. And Robinhood is the prime example. And just in closing, I wanted to say this. We often talk about investing to things that you know, like, and love. We know when retail investors get into the market, they're very likely to join it through Robinhood. We know if somebody's wearing sneakers to go play a sport, they're very likely to wear Nikes or something similar. So when we see things like this, we have to go and say, is there something to the business behind the stock? And if so, make sure you look into it.
Very good. Dude, I remember that, Kenan, back in the day when we had all those meme plays running. I had a few of them, and one of them I had in Robinhood, and I was trying to lock in my gains, and it was a massive amount.
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't let me buy. I had other things I was doing. I had everything. It was so many trades were not allowing me to do, and it cost me a mountain of money. And I remember that. I was so upset. But I also remember, as you're showing, that Robinhood started to recover, and not just recover, but take off. And that, the irony is not lost on me. That because of, the meme play run, like you said, great analogy. This isn't a meme play. They are in it to win it, and they continue to add services. I'm pretty impressed with their offerings. And I know there's a lot of people have a lot of anger like I do, but I get it. It's a business. They're continuing to do their thing. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed by that. I'm not in it, but man, they crushed it. All right, I'm going to add, it's nice to have the fellas back here. I pulled up a chart. Larry, Josh, I need to make some money. Christmas is coming. Halloween's coming. And I had a couple kids. They said, Mr. Mo, they said, on the block, dude, we see your car. You better be giving full-size Kit Kats and Snickers bars. I can't afford this stuff, guys. I need your help to be able to buy them this. One kid said, you better be giving me a full Ethereum per knock. So help me out. What do you guys got going on?
Well, let me just kick things off. I mean, the altcoin season, it's a big question on people's minds if we're going to get it. And wow, has it been dragging its feet, right? But let's just acknowledge that Ethereum did rip off the bottom. And, the way the altcoin season works, and I know there's folks that are going to say that everything in the cycle is broken, and it could be. Things have changed. I'll acknowledge that. But the way that it normally would work is that Bitcoin would hit an all-time high, and then when it began to finally slow down, money would begin to roll into Ethereum. And then when Ethereum began to slow down, now neither one of them would begin to go down. They would just begin to slow down. Then you'd see that Ethereum roll over into the alts. So technically, that's what we've seen so far. And I just wanted to relate the Ethereum chart to Kenan's hood chart. And you say, well, how does the Ethereum chart relate to the hood chart? Let's just kind of look at this. The thing with hood was that, Maverick, I'll go to that and I'll make my point. All right. So hood, let's go to daily. We'll go to weekly. Okay. Obviously, hood IPO'd, and it had this moment in time in which do I got the right? Yeah. It had this moment in time in which it eventually made this just enormous cup and handle, right? And eventually, this was the IPO price right here. It got above it, it back tested it, and then it shot up like a rocket, right? And so it just consider this. We're just talking structure right now. We're just talking structure, Okay, let's go back to Ethereum. This is such a huge moment that Ethereum got into. All of this resistance, this over and over again, ever since 2021. And we did exactly what Hood did a while back, which was we finally got above it and we've back tested it. Now, I'm not saying that that we don't still have a little test ahead of us. I'm just saying that structurally, Ethereum is doing exactly what we would want it to be. And now we just need to get above this 477. We came up to it. We back tested the previous support.
There's a bee in my house. There's a bee. I hope it's a bee and not a wasp. Oh my goodness.
We hear some screaming.
Yeah.
I would jump up.
Yeah. Well, just wrapping this up. So you guys see this huge cup, right, that we've got here. It's twice we made this pattern. You take the breakout, you put that out at the breakout level, and it takes us up between 9 and 10K. And I just wanted to make the point that similar to Hood, it's doing exactly like, you know, if you just had believed the technicals when Hood got above its historic resistance and it back tested it and then it took off like a rocket. If you just believed it and trusted the technicals, you would have just been banking the whole time. And I think we're in that same moment right now where Ethereum has done virtually something extremely similar, and we just have to believe that it's getting ready to take off. Man, have the alts dragged their feet, right? But we're, you know, people are calling, and I think it's a great question, Mo. I'm curious your thoughts. You know, people keep saying blow off top. We've been talking about blow off top all year. The September pullback never happened. We're already October 8th. All we do is make new all-time highs. It sure does look like we could get that blow off. And what would trigger it would be a Q3 earnings from big tech. You know, NVIDIA said they've had a great last 6 months. So if the AI story in Q3 is accelerating, then it could feed the blow off top. We got rate cuts coming, and the rate cuts is going to contribute to crypto finally doing what we've been waiting for it to do. I'll admit, like everybody else, I'm wildly impatient. I'm locked and loaded. I've been getting back in slowly recently, and I'm waiting for it to begin to move. You know, it seems like we've tested the bottom as many times as any of us want to do. And so now we got to see what it does between now and the end of the year, October, November.
That's it. Larry, thoughts?
Well, I'm going to shift fundamentally. We have these small companies. Yesterday, QUBT, what they did was just compared to a share dilution. And another company did it today, and I just covered it in my today's video. And I was showing you guys how QUBT did it yesterday, and I said these small companies. So one of the, I don't know if it was one of the quantum computing stock, right? And when they run up, and they run up a lot, then they use that capital to fund further projects. Oh, it was Joby. It was Joby, Joby. Joby did it today. QUBT, Quantum Computing, did it yesterday or the day before. And Joby just had this big launch. I don't know if you saw it. I watched the whole deal. They had cameras there. And there's another EV, you know, helicopters that go up vertically and just take off. So they had this big rollout, fanfare, right? Price shoots back up, they raise funds, and then they do a share dilution. Is it bad? No. As a matter of fact, generally when they do the share dilution, it shows you the price where they're diluting it to. And most of the times that is your buy price. You just buy there and just hold, right? So it comes down and you buy there and just hold. So that's what I've been doing.
Well, like, can I add to that, Larry?
Yeah, and then I want to go to crypto. You have to add to that.
So, you know, there, Jim Cramer interviewed Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, and he said that there are some, that right now the market's going to create these future giant billion-dollar big tech companies, right? And, you know, we've talked about these on our page all the time, and I think Joby is in that arena.
It is. Joby is in that.
You're going to look at this, Larry. You know, it's going to fluctuate $10.
Yep.
And then this is the type of stock that could be $300 5 years from now. So what is your game plan? I'm always challenging everybody.
Well, my game plan is the Joby I have now, I think I'm up 50%. I've had it since last year.
You're not selling any of that.
I'm not selling any. As a matter of fact, today we bought some more. Joby actually has warrants now. They didn't at first. So now today we bought Joby, Joby, and the warrants.
Larry,
right?
Can you buy and hold the warrants?
You can buy and hold the warrants, but the warrants have expiration dates, right? But I believe the Joby warrants expire in 2030. If Joby 4x from here, the warrants will 6 to 8x from here, but we will be out because we're just going to sell the warrants. We are not, we're not going back. We're not going to hold these warrants and let them mature. We're not. We're just going to use the money from the warrants to pay for the stock. So we are not paying anything for the stock, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at JOBY, you will see the warrants there.
Can I comment on this? So
please
the two companies that I think, Joby being one of them, the second one is this
ACHR. Now, that was the second one I want to talk about.
Well,
we have that
can I
too.
set you up technically? Can you guys see the chart?
Yeah. No,
And
I
then
can hold on. Boom, there you go.
Chart it for a second, then I'll let Larry comment it. You guys are going to get this on my show soon, a more comprehensive, maybe tomorrow, a comprehensive overview. But I just want to highlight, because you guys will recognize this. The IPO is your point of control, okay? It's always the initial launch and the surge. This is a very important zone. We're back here, okay? We're back here. We rejected, and it looks like we're holding, right? So this is a significant moment. Same as Hood.
Yes.
Same as Ethereum.
Yes.
This is where, as long as we can close above here on a weekly time frame, this is where the opportunity, where could this go? This could go right back to this $21. It's sitting at $12.
Yes.
So, this is one that could, let me take you here, Larry. Watch this. Okay. So we're calling this the neckline. Okay. Let's come down here to the middle. And this is the potential measured move for this ACHR.
Yep, take that and put it up.
Now you're looking at a
95.
Yeah, well, this is
65. I mean,
about 66, right?
Okay.
Now people are going to get a little confused by that. They're going to hear Josh just said ACHR is going there.
But watch this. We're just going to give you guys some jewels right now. I want you to go to Yahoo Finance and I want you to stack Joby on top of Archer. Okay. Thanks for whoever said Archer. I was looking for it. I've been in it so long, I've just been holding the shares that I've had. So go to Yahoo.
And while they're doing that, guys, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up. I want to watch you guys watch how the viewers goes up. Just hit the thumbs up button for me. I have the bet that if I don't get over 500 likes, that Kenan is going to have to pay for my kids' college. He doesn't want to have to pay for that. And so if we can get this thing over 500 likes, I'll continue to pay for it. That's, it's not cheap. My kid just gave me his rent thing. He said, I need help with the rent of $1,300. So why don't you guys hit that thumbs up while they're going over to Yahoo Finance, looking what they're looking for.
Try Yahoo. Yahoo Finance. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I said, though, hit that thumbs up button. You guys will see
Google
this.
Finance.
And while you guys are doing that, shout out to Farm Cop. Appreciate the membership joining here. JC, you guys joined through YouTube. I appreciate it. Lisa in the house. I love seeing it. There we go. A lot of good people here. Ken, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. And of course, the Archer. I'll tell you this, as I'm watching these guys get this ready, that is a Kathy Wood special. I've been watching her. It seems like buy that for a million years.
Oh, well, we'll just do it this way. I like to stack them so you could see it. Hey, Mo, would you do me a favor and go to Google Finance and stack JOBY on top of Archer and go out like a month? I'm gonna talk while you're doing that. Okay, so good people, I just want to tell you guys that we are in the forefront of AI still. And I know there's a lot of talk about an AI bubble, right? And we are in a short-term bubble, right? But long-term, we're in a micro bubble, but macro, we have a lot to go. Look at what's happening with the quantum computing stock. They keep pumping, just like the regular stock market, right? And everything is going to be AI. I'm down here at a conference here, about 45 minutes away from Josh's house. And what's happening with AI is ridiculous. Okay, ridiculous. And it's just, these are just building blocks, Josh. These are just building blocks on what's to come. I'm going to another one out of the country, and I'm just trying to be on the forefront of AI because it is mind-blowing, some of the things. I want you guys to take time and Google and find out where opportunity lies as it pertains to these stock. Just like ticker symbol OKLO, right? I keep talking about that because the fuel that's needed to fuel AI, you're going to need 5 different fuel sources. To one is not enough. We don't have enough power in one area, Josh, to fuel AI. So we're going to need
nuclear.
Exactly. We're going to need nuclear. We're going to need wind. We're going to need coal. We're going to need all of these variations. And some of these companies are going to take off. Why don't you pull up an Oklo chart too?
And they got the Joby up for you.
Oh, they got it up. Okay. So let's deal with this first. Now, I want you guys to see this. Now, you up a month. You see how much Joby is up. Now, Mo, go year to date, if you don't mind. And look at that. So what I'm saying is, and even if you look at it, Josh, you hit it right. The greater up run right now in the short term is with Archer. And so that is what, and Archer's been held back, right? Joby just does a better job at marketing. And they keep showing off their planes in New York, taking off vertically. But these, when we really do have, the driverless cars and all of this, these type of companies like Joby and Archer are really, really going to quadruple in years to come. I'll just leave it there and yield the floor.
You want to talk about Oklo?
Oh, yes, let's talk about Oklo.
Yep.
Do you mind if I talk about Oklo, Mo?
No, hit it up.
Okay, so Oklo, good people, this is another energy source. They are already doing contracts, right? You can see these big I call them God candles. I'm looking at one right now. They absolutely explode. If you go back, look at what it's done for the last month. Josh, I want you to talk about this stock technically, but fundamentally, this is a solid play.
Yeah, no, technically, I mean, this is very bullish. I would say that we obviously had a little bit of rejection. We pushed right through it. On the weekly, yeah. So, a stock is hot when you see, for instance, on the MACD, on the monthly time frame, you see these expansion. The MACD line from the signal line is separating, and each of these green bars is getting bigger than the next. Now, I will say that this is hot, man. This thing is fire. But look at this accumulation back here.
But we've been here before where it was just this hot, Josh, and it continued. Look, go back. You'll see it has these.
Oh, this thing's been running.
Exactly.
I mean, from $20 now to $150.
Yep.
I mean, just an absolute incredible move. I traded this quite a bit. I think I called it on the community at $17, right? Yeah, right here. Yeah. Right here. I called it on a pullback. And but I didn't hold it. We held it up to about here, and then we let it go. And then look what this thing could do.
Well, we've been
hold that
this,
winner,
Josh. We've been in it way before $17. I actually started buying this with my quantum computing stock because I made a whole video talking about how it needs to be powered, right? So we started buying it low, and we've just been holding. And we only buy it on dips at this point now.
Yeah,
so
if I were to give a bearish, nobody wants to hear a bearish thought on a hot stock like this. Mm-hmm. But so this candle right here, this price, we'll put the coordinates on it. So 135, we'll call it 136. Okay, so right now, this has worked. These are weekly candles, and this has worked as resistance 1, 2, 3 times.
Right.
And from the moment that it closed here, it's not been able to close above. So I would just say that 135.79 seems to be operating as resistance, and we see that 109 is operating as support. So, you know, if you were to want to trade this purely from a technical standpoint.
Now, let me say this. Josh is going to tell you about trading this stock. I'm talking about long-term investing in this stock. Please know that these are two different ways to make money.
Yeah, I don't disagree with him.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the technical aspect of it just to determine if right now is a great time to buy.
There you go.
You know, let's see. Yes, this chart. Let me get rid of these guys real quick. These are some past signals I had on it. So yeah, I mean, it's in the camp of the bulls. You look at the RSI, we're above the 50, and we've been living at the 70. Look at this. Just
look at how long. Now let's count. This is what I want you guys to see about the technicals, right? Tell them how long we've been.
I'll give it to you exactly. So we have been living on the hot RSI for 132 days.
Thank you. So I know when you pull up the charts, good people, you're going to say, oh, this is overbought. 137 days.
Yeah. So 132 days we've been living at the 70 RSI, just cooking. Having said that, we had a flag pattern here. We broke to the upside, but we're failing to hold above 135.79. So I would say that if this can't hold above 135.79 by the end of this week, then it's going to come back and it's going to cool off and consolidate.
Yep.
That's all it's going to do.
You know what's going to happen? I'm going to make a prediction right here. You know what's going to happen in the next 30 days?
Tell me about it.
They're going to sign another contract. Larry said it.
Yep.
Ah.
All right. We're doing a slight little charting here. We'll look at this. This is what's referred to as a historic trend line. And what I'm going to expect is for this to largely move sideways, hit that line, and then go up later. Yep. That's kind of, you know, you want to buy around, if you can get it, everyone's got to come up with their own strategy.
Exactly.
Right? 110 roughly.
110.
Yeah.
109.
It's between 140 and 110, and you know, probably 120 is where you might consider doing some investing. Everything between 110 and 120
DCA
and 110,
down.
DCA down. Ultimately, at some point in the future, we're going to come back and hit this line here, this ascending line that I drew. We're stair-stepping above it. We got away from it. We'll eventually come back and hit it and push up higher in the course of time. This has had one heck of a move.
Yep.
You know, when stocks, you know, we're way up here, so this will cool off a little bit and come back. That just makes it a hold. It doesn't make it a sell.
Exactly.
As long as you're above the zero line, any cross down is just a hold, and you wait until it comes back and crosses back up, and then it becomes a buy, and that's probably around here somewhere.
And listen, guys, if we have a significant pullback, if the NASDAQ gets hit, more tariff talk, I want you guys to write this one down. If the market, Oklo, if it has an overreaction, the entire market, write this one down. This is the one you're going to want to get in on a significant pullback. Yeah,
no, I never should have sold no Oklo.
Yeah. I got all mine, bro.
Stitch, not a share.
And I got it in a Roth IRA, and it's looking good.
Mm. Oh, we lost somebody. We lost Kenan. We lost him.
That chain weighed him down.
No, it was that Hornet, man. He got that Hornet flying around in there trying to eat him. Here, I'll throw this on there. Hopefully he's all right. We might need to send some St. Bernards or some whiskey around him to help him out, man. I don't know what's going on there here, but I wanted to share a little bit with the audience out there, give you guys, I know everybody's dropping some plays. So you guys know 10 weeks ago, I debuted, big French word I can't spell. I debuted the portfolio that I wanted to share. It was my $2.231 million portfolio. I also shared my crypto, and the crypto made $100,000 before I locked it all in and I sold it. This portfolio also made $250,000. So in 10 weeks, live on YouTube, no paywalls, I pulled in $350,000 in front of everybody. And I do that. There is no bragging here. It's because I want you to know that we are all here to help you. We are here to share what we know to try to get you to the next level. So as you guys can see with mine, I have a few equities that I like. I added a few smaller ones today because I'm adding more and more stock plays in my Discord personally. We have the Stock Squad Discord down below, plus my Discord. For those that aren't in, I am increasing it up about 40% here in the next few days. So get in now before that, so you're grandfathered in. With that being said, the crypto, I've been buying and selling. Like I said, $350,000 in profit now. I'm moving the money from crypto into here. I want EFTs or ETFs with the spot and the staking. You got the ETH, which now has staking, which is automatic for anybody that's in there. You don't even have to do anything. They take care of it. And so that's beautiful, because let me ask you something, Josh, Larry.
Yeah.
The one thing I couldn't stand about having Ethereum staked, you know, I'm a huge Ethereum guy. You guys know I've been on the Ethereum bandwagon for years and years and years. So much so I've been burnt by it, been made rich by it, been burnt by it, you know, back and forth. But my question to you two gentlemen is this. I believe the future of people investing in crypto, certain cryptos, the ones like that have the ETFs, and we know the listing requirements for that got much, much easier. But the one downside I had for getting out of my Ethereum and trying to lock it in, I had it staked. The queue on the staking is what, 40-something days? I don't even know what it's at now because I already unstaked all mine. But now you can go over here and buy ETH, and they have, I don't know how they're handling this, but it's staked, and the rewards come in as Ethereum, and they just hold that part of it. And obviously the value of your shares are going to go higher, but you can get out at any given time. And that's a beautiful thing to be able to do. And so you don't have that lockout. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to affect Grayscale, but for us who are in Ethereum, and maybe you have a blow off top and you want to lock in some gains, but you also want the staking reward. I see the future of a lot of the big cryptos, especially the ones that stake, going to the spot ETFs. And for people, some big money who just want to be in the market and not worry about all the security, let somebody else handle it, they'll pay that small management fee. What are your thoughts on that? The whole spot ETF, the whole just in general, do you believe the future is right now where we have the exchanges and they're huge and the spot ETFs? Or do you see, I see personally, consolidation of exchanges, pure crypto exchanges down to a small few. And I see spot ETFs, BlackRock, Grayscale just dominating the crypto industry. And it's the one thing that they used to complain about back when I got in it over a decade ago, that they didn't, not Wall Street. This is about Main Street. And this is our thing, that it will be no longer just a small group of people who like, cracking codes and getting rewards for it. But it is going to become the massive machine that Wall Street controls and governments around the world control. And you're talking reserve asset classifications. We're talking just monster things. And these exchanges, I believe, will be relegated to some of the smaller cryptos, other little things, but the massive amount of money, I think, will stick to stocks and regulated by the SEC and things like that.
Yeah, I just want to add that we're obviously, I think AI lends itself towards the consolidation of power. And, we got to know that OpenAI, Microsoft, AMD, NVIDIA, all these companies are joining forces. Why is NVIDIA getting involved in every other business like AMD and Intel, right? And everyone keeps talking about this circular money machine, okay? The money's just flowing from one company to the next, then back around to NVIDIA. And what it is going to be a very small group of companies that are going to be extremely dominant, and nobody can compete with them, annihilating Monpa, annihilating small crypto exchanges. We're going to be seeing all stocks trading 24/7. The idea of opening market and closing markets going away. Some of that's coming to Texas.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one of the reasons why I moved out to Texas, is because they're going to, this is going to be the future blockchain exchange of the world. And, you know, you're going to be able to see people from all over being able to put their money no longer in a government currency that's failed or failing or has junk bond rating. You know, America getting in line for that overprinted dollar. But you're going to be able to, people are going to agree upon assets, and it's going to be blockchains, and they're going to have access to it 24/7. We saw E-Trade was, you know, was part of the beginning of more retail people coming on board to trade. I've been talking about the fact the American dream is no longer a 9-to-5, a white picket fence, a couple cars in a house. It's not. You've got to move towards the investor economy, and you've got to own some of these companies, because this is where wealth's going to get built. It's getting consolidated, and you've got to be making sure you got your piece of that consolidated pie.
Yeah, hold on. I asked Larry because he's down there visiting you in Texas, and he brought up like Archer, and what was the other one I have here? Joby. And I said, why are you into that EV helicopter stuff? He's like, I'm visiting. I'm down there, not visiting Kenan. I'm down there visiting Josh, so I don't know if he's in his front yard or backyard, so I got to fly back to his backyard to see if he's back there. And if he's not, I don't want to walk 10 miles back up to his front door. Down in Texas, everything's bigger, even in the yard. So go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry.
Well, I want you guys to start listening to the CNBCs and that, and just even if you don't understand it, the term that's being thrown around this year heavy is M&A.
Yeah.
Well, M&A means mergers and acquisitions. To Mo's point, this is what's happening. Big companies are buying little companies, and they're consolidating. Mergers and acquisitions. The acquisitions is the big fish eating the little fish, and that money just keeps circulating. Now, some of them has to go through the FCC to get approved, right? Some of them has to be approved through the White House, right? And so that's why in media, there's this whole push going on. And to some point, it's dangerous, right? Remember when you had the neighborhood where you went to go get nuts and bolts? And now
Ace Hardware,
and True Values, and there was so many others. Now you got the big box stores, right? You got the Home Depot and the Menards and the Lowe's, right? And now they shut those all down. That's happening with some of these big companies. And if you really look at the deal that AMD did with OpenAI, they rolled out the red carpet. If you look deep under the hood, they're actually doing warrants.
I mean, Sam Altman, every corporate knee is coming
to bow to them.
Yeah, I was very uncomfortable with this.
Yeah, I am very uncomfortable with this AMD deal. They were like, sure. They were like, yeah, we want your firstborn and your mother-in-law.
They got basically almost 10% of AMD.
Yes.
The AMD stock ran up.
Yep.
They actually made all their money back
already.
The money is just slushing around these corporations.
Yes. And then AMD ran up again today. And there's more run room for AMD, by the way. Wait for a pullback. You want to get some AMD. So can I say something real quick? So I don't want to take up all of the time.
Yeah, we didn't forget about you, Kenan. We're coming.
Yep.
We're coming over.
Oh no, I'm all good. I'm all good.
The last time we was live, Josh brought up Poet. He brought up Poet, right? And he told you to buy Zone, right? I don't just come here to teach. I come here to learn. I bought some Poet where he said to buy it. If you'd bought it, not options, you would be up 51% today. How do I know that? I just showed him I'm up how much? 52%. All right. I just had to put that out there. And then somebody got to talk about BMNR, because in the comment section, everybody's asking about BMNR.
No, these conversations, this is all CEO time for Larry Kenan, Mo, and I. And whenever we get together, you know, typically we're really kind of talking to each other. Last time we had a great conversation about small caps, you know, and the extended conversation there with small caps is as these really get hot and heat up, you're going to see dilution. You know, what's going to stop these little companies that are rocketing higher and all the animal spirits surrounding them? The moment that the CEO will attempt to seize on the bullishness and begin to pull in some investment money and dilute the shares, that's what's going to knock them down. Poet is a great company. I'm worried. I've been saying for a while, APLD. I'm scared to sell my APLD, my
Scared.
Poet, my SIR, my BBAI.
Wow.
I am scared to sell these, even though it makes sense to lock in some gains. So if you're going to look out 3 to 5 years, maybe you just want to keep some on the side and never stop buying. All these companies that we brought to you, these are the companies that Larry just told you about, mergers and acquisitions. These are the ones that are going to get gobbled up by the big boys, and the share prices are going to go up, from out of the $6 to $10 range to that potential $30 to $60 range. It's the opportunity.
Yeah. Stocks like QUBT or RGTI, Rigetti, or quantum computing, one of those are going to get bought by NVIDIA.
Yep. Kenan, we're worried about you. We saw that you went off, and we thought maybe the Wasp or the Hornet got a hold of everything, and it was death and destruction on your side of the camera.
Man.
We heard a female voice screaming, and I had pitched. We didn't know if it was you or what was going on.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So yeah, so I looked at my YouTube channel, and I saw that in total, right? Obviously, a lot of people don't share stuff like this, and I don't expect anybody else to, but I will. But I saw that my YouTube channel's revenue, I looked at it like all time, and I made more money in my portfolio this year than my all-time YouTube revenue. So then when I see something like that, and I made a lot of money on YouTube, a whole lot of money on YouTube, but my portfolio, I've transitioned to a point where my investments are now overtaking my high income thing. And that is so powerful. And I want to say at 34 years old, I'm blessed. And I want to use that, not to brag or anything like that. Oh, look at me, pat me on the back. I wanted to say, believe in yourself and invest into yourself. We've been investing into things like AMD. We've been investing, and I use that term clearly, investing, like buying and holding it. And if it drops, you buy more of it. And we're up 92% on that. Actually, let me look, 97% on AMD. It's up about 40% on the week, but we were in it even before that. Why do I say that? I say it because when a company is a good company, like we were just talking about, and I don't know everything there is to know about OKLO that they were just showing on the charts, but I noticed that it's a $19 billion company. We could see tomorrow that it's a $40 billion company, and it's a $300 stock. And sometimes we get so caught up in looking at how much it moved that we're not thinking about how much it can move. Yeah. We're just looking at the past and the history. And one thing that everybody here who I want to really just think about is this. As people who become traders in the market, what happens is you have to unlearn some of the things that you picked up that you thought were good. So Josh might be able to speak to this really well. And it's when you learn about supports and resistances in charting, you very well will miss out on continuations because you're looking for it to reverse so hard, but it doesn't always work like that. Yeah. If OKLO, being a $19 billion company, all of a sudden gets a deal with OpenAI like everybody else is, then this company could go crazy again. You see what I'm saying?
Truth.
So understand that you have to look for companies that, like Larry was saying, for example, that are fundamentally sound, where the fundamentals, the revenue is just getting higher, the margins are getting higher, and the continuation on the charts will come with it as a product of the company being just a great company. I wish I could buy call options on me. I wish I could buy call options on me.
It is.
Because I'm telling you this, family, I understand this game so deeply and so thoroughly, but I understand it in such a way that I know that I don't know everything. And then my understanding of not knowing everything, it makes me a sponge to all kind of new information. And I encourage you to be like that. And I want to see if I can share my screen.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see.
Up there.
Let me see.
Add
So
one more time.
here's something that I had to learn. Share screen. Yeah. Here's something that I had to learn. And I feel like it's really valuable information here. So, and you kind of got to unlearn it, fam. You kind of got to unlearn it. And what it is you'll look at something, and just because it's a low share price or a low coin price, then you'll think that that's the better buy, but it may not be. So this is Ethereum in blue. and then Bitcoin and gold. And this is the percent that they went up, right? So if we look over here at these two levels right here, we can look at the price. Right in 2021, Ethereum was where it is right now at about 4,600. So down here where my mouse is, this is where you'll see it. You see how it's at 4,500 right now? Back in 2021, it was just about right there too, at 4,600. Actually, it's a little lower now than it was then. And Bitcoin at the time was 64,000. People would look at Ethereum and people would look at Bitcoin and they would say, wait, Ethereum, 4,600. I'm going to buy that. I'm not going to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin has since doubled to about 123,000, and Ethereum is flat in the same time. So I say that to say this. It's not all about, and I don't know why I hear that so much, but it's not all about trying to get into the smallest penny stock or the smallest micro crypto that can make something double or triple. It's really about the amount of money that's being infused into it. Now, I don't want you to think I'm not a Ethereum bull, because I am, and a Bitcoin bull, because I definitely am. And I'm not thinking or, I'm thinking and. Some people went all in on Ethereum or all in on Bitcoin, when in actuality, the truth of making money could be somewhere in the middle of you can buy some of this and buy some of that, and then also make a lot of money. Another thing too is today, XRP actually got overtaken by Binance coin and now Binance is the third biggest crypto in the world. And I say that to say this, if you stick to the top, I'll say like 10 cryptocurrencies, because to be honest with you, a lot of the smaller ones are going to get wiped out and evaporated over time. But if you stick to the top few, even if they're not number 1 or number 3 or number 4 anymore or whatever, you're pretty much going to be better off than people who are just trying to go get the ones that are 0.0001 and trying to make it go to $1, right? So when money is flowing in, that's when I'm betting on all of this stuff. And to be honest with you, I'm a Bitcoin bull more than I've ever been. And I was buying Bitcoin when it was like $600. And I'm more of a Bitcoin bull than I've ever been. And I want to say that to say this. It's not because Bitcoin is a better project than all of the other ones. It's because the institutional money is trying to flow into Bitcoin particularly. So you got to get there before the institutions get there. And that's how you're really going to make your money. Like I said with AMD, how I'm up 90-something% on AMD, but the institutions are now up 40% on it. How? Because I got in first. I beat them to the party. And as they come into the party, like your BlackRocks, like your Vanguards, like your Fidelity, as they're buying more Bitcoin, they're going to push this thing to 200K. They're going to push this thing to 500K. They might very well push it to 1 million over time. And we're going to think back to, man, I really remember when Bitcoin was $100,000. Now, I can't guarantee you on anything of that. I can't guarantee you. I'll never try to guarantee it. But I say that to say, if you do not have your Bitcoin or Ethereum or something in the top 5 of crypto on auto reinvest, then in my opinion, you are not going to be as rich as you could have been otherwise. Now, I'm not telling you to go and do that, but this is how I see it, and this is why I do it. I had recently just bought some Ethereum at 3,900, and people, oh man, Kenan, you bought the bottom. You bought it at the bottom, and I did. But then it went up to 4,700. I bought it there too. And if it goes to 5,000, I'll buy it there too, because I see way more upside than these short-term upsides that we're often seeing. So I yield the floor.
I like that. Kenan,
I got another banger too.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I just want to throw that up there because just to go with his point, I shared this with you guys, but I do want you guys to see these two right there. If I can get that there. He said it's not one or the other.
Right.
My portfolio, it's Bitcoin, 400,000, and Ethereum, 450,000, a little bit of Solana, a little bit of XRP. I have to tell you before I yield the floor to you guys, I 100% agree with Kenan more than anybody could even realize. The big thing for me is I believe a lot of cryptos, over 90-something% of 99%, I'll say 99% of cryptos are going to go to near zero. And 1% of the projects out there, way under 1%, are going to be mainstream. And those are going to be, in my humble opinion, down to 12 to 24 cryptos in the long run. We have over 10 to 20,000 cryptos right now, and they grow by the hundreds, if not thousands, every couple of months. And so as we go forward, you can go out there and try to be the next meme play king. But the truth of the matter is, if you look at the new ones that come out, the small ones that come out, it's the influencer who makes the money because they're in before they talk about it. And then they make money off their users. Or it's the people who created it that make the money. And then when they get the results out, you find out that 99% of people lost money on it. And only 1 out of 100 people made money on the crypto when they sold. It's wild. So Kenan's telling you, I don't care if Ethereum goes to 5,000. I'm buying more. Well, Kenan, you're going to have to fight me for it because I'm buying it too. I'm with Kenan. And I believe if you stick to, generally, for the normal investor, not trying to play games, just the top 10, research them. I think you're good with any of the top 10. You know, use your technicals, use the fundamentals. I personally like, you guys are going to hate me for this, Solana is my new favorite right now. Solana with how many
I knew he was going to say that. I knew it was going to be Solana.
Yeah, well, because Larry must be watching me in my videos because I've been quietly, I got a new girlfriend. Her name's Solana. It's to me, I was very impressed. The key metric I go by, and people don't really realize what I look for, but one of the big things for crypto, I look for developers and how many projects and developers have come on to the crypto. And in the last year, I believe, you guys can check this, but Ethereum and Solana had almost the same amount of new additions. That blew my mind because what drove me to Ethereum was that it had more brains in the building than anybody else. Well, Solana's catching up quick. And so my sleeper, and I'll give you a price prediction by the end of 2026, 550 to 650. And that's what I believe Solana's going to do for me. And I'm adding another 100K into Solana here shortly. But I'll tell everybody before I do it. That's what I'm doing. All right, gentlemen, I'll let you guys do it. All right, go ahead there. Josh, you can throw up your chart if you want.
Well, I want to throw up I want to talk about a couple charts. This is, I have them up. Can you guys see my charts?
Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to, quick commentary on XRP chart. We're looking at the weekly time frame. We've got the 9 and the 20, the yellow and the blue line. And you want to always make sure the yellow line stays above the blue line. And truth be told, it has this entire time. The yellow and blue line kissed momentarily here, and we've been moving sideways, but this really looks like the potential for a cup right? And so we are obviously in an extended move, but the target, and we talked about this in the past, and there's just fresh technicals on it. If it takes us this much time to do this, I'm not saying this is the minimum move. This is what's referred to as the measured expected.
Hey, what chart do you have up?
I've got the XRP USDT 1 week.
I can't see is that the right chart on the screen, guys? Is that the one you want? Just so I make sure
Well, I don't know what you mean.
It looks like it says USAR, not XRP.
It's XRP USDT.
Okay, go for it.
I'm asking, they read my mind.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry.
It's up. Oh, so they were saying that?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
We'll talk about that one in a minute.
All right. So everyone's like, Josh is
I saw your chart and I'm like, now I know XRP and I'd love it to have that green God candle there, but we're not quite there yet.
All right. Round 2, XRP.
There you go. There you go.
We want to talk about USAR too.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to comment that we have this very bullish setup. I'm going to put the 9 and the 20 back on.
There we go.
Here we go. And, we have, obviously, we're in a little bit of a very similar situation here, right? But eventually this went on to make a higher high. We're doing the same thing. And I hate the fact that the alts are just dragging their feet and we have not had any decent pump. But I just wanted to make the comment tonight that this chart's extremely healthy. We're getting, this nice, beautiful, we want to see it hold the ground. It wouldn't shock me if we tested 280 again, but we want to see it hold ground. and eventually we're going to see it come up, and I imagine we're going to get a cup. And the reason why I'm drawing this out is it's foreshadowing where we might go. And I created this number a long time ago before any of these candles existed. I created this back here. Okay. So it's interesting to me that as more time goes by, my original 440 prediction looks like the most sensible prediction on this chart. Now, I'm not saying that we couldn't rocket all the way up back into this channel, which would be like the super bullish opportunity. And that would put us somewhere between 6 and 7. I'm just saying I like to take charts a little bit at a time. And the most sensible target on this chart still looks like 440. And then we'll have to reevaluate where it goes once or if it hits that. You want to be entirely, you're going to have cooled jets if this yellow ever crosses beneath the 20. It hasn't done it ever since here. So the yellow's been bouncing on top of the 20 this entire time. I don't expect that it will cross. I think we'll go up and then we'll cross, and we'll know that the short-term move for XRP is over. But that's a quick XRP chart.
Yeah.
Let me
go ahead and hit it. We got 4 minutes left, so go ahead and hit up that USAR.
Yeah, USAR. This is just kind of a funny story here. Larry called me one day and said, "Josh, let's chat about USAR." And it was between $14 and $13 right here. And I talked about it on my show, and I said, guys, we're going to pull back to 13. We're going to buy, then we're going to take off, and we're going to hit between 16 and 1950. So this was what I predicted. And within 2 weeks, this happened, right? I just want to comment that the people that were panicking, panicking.
I told them the same thing. I said, be patient.
Yeah. And similar to the XRP chart, you see how this 9 on the weekly time hasn't even come close to turning down. This was a buy the entire time. Even I sold right here, right? And this pulled back. And then it took off for this massive move. Now, I will tell you, obviously, I think USAR would be a great stock. I'd love to pick it up again at 1950. I can't guarantee that it'll come back here. There is significant, this used to be resistance. So what was once resistance has to become support, right? So that's I would get USAR back on $20. And this is a doji after a major move. If you take this measured move breakout, it predicted this move right here perfectly to the top. You see that?
Yep.
So all these charts are aligned. The measured move is
Before
over.
you click out of that, I want to show the people something.
Go ahead.
Now, the reason why I brought this to Josh is because this is a sound company. They are getting government contracts. Now, go and put a W behind that USAR. Yep. Boom, baby.
The warrants. Look at that. So these went from $5.
Boom, baby.
$5 to $20.
And we were in this whole run.
Is that 4X?
Yeah. I just showed it to Josh. I'm up 238%. So we got it way down here. So fundamentally strong company. They're getting contracts. They're doing contracts. Again, it's these small cap stocks that take off. And we're going to ride the warrants up. We're going to sell the warrants. And we're going to not just pay for the stock, but we're going to have twice as much as we paid for the stock.
Yeah. Nice. What's your thought on this, Larry, as far as long-term hold, lock-in profits?
Well, when it comes to USAR, not the warrants, take profits on the warrants. The stock itself, I'm holding long. This is going to be a stable, long-term company, just like Oklo. So when we did the deal as America with Zelensky, remember? What was the thing that the president kept saying?
Earths. We need all them rare earths.
Say it again.
We need all your rare earths.
USAR is a rare earth company, and that's when I bought it. Nice. Sometimes you got to listen to what's not being heard.
All right. So with that being said, we got a lot of knowledge nuggets from everybody today. It's been a great day. We are at the time frame of the hour, and I appreciate everybody being here. Kenan, I want to, any final words from you? I know the gentleman just gave us a few more great ones, and I took notes on everything you guys said today. I would tell everybody to rewind this, watch it again. Any final words, Kenan, for the audience?
Yes, I got a unpopular. How do you say that? Unpopular opinion. So 90 to 99% of people who trade are not good, and you should just be an investor. I say that to say, you're looking for the hottest stock, you're looking for the hottest crypto. You lost 30K on the stock, you had 31K, now you got 1K, and you scared to tell your wife. You should have invested that in S&P. You should have invested into the S&P. You're not taking trading seriously enough. You don't have your stop losses set. You don't have a trade plan. You heard about stop losses. You heard about trade plans, but you never did it. You never respected your capital the way that you should have. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I want you to hear this, whoever does, that if you would have put that money in the S&P 500, maybe it wouldn't have doubled, but you would have still had it and you would have been up. So remember, if you can't take trading as serious as you would take jumping out of a plane with a parachute, if you can't take it that seriously, just invest into the S&P 500. I'm telling you this right now. Can't tell you what to do. You see what I'm saying? But I'm trying to just talk to you like I would talk to my son if I had a son, or somebody who I care about.
Thanks, Dad.
Because you need to hear it. You really need to hear it. And it's this grown folks talk right now.
Come on, man.
Amen.
I yield the floor.
Larry, Josh, final words.
Man, I did what we just laid out, some solid plays, including AMD. There's still more growth for AMD. We laid out some solid plays. For those of you that's been losing money constantly because you can't manage your emotions, just like Kenan said, you can build wealth the slow way while you're learning the more complicated things like options. I yield the floor.
Yeah, no, I love what Kenan said. And there's a place for some trading. And all of us, the four of us that you're looking at, we all do some trading. But the majority of the money that we make goes into long-term investing. And we're always looking to make that even more stable. And the smaller percentages and the speculations are fun and exciting. But, you're not going to get rich unless you can hold a stock for a generation. You won't get generational wealth. And all of these stocks that we've talked about, BBAI, Serve, Poet, all the four stocks I brought up in the last show, APLD, honestly, you could have just been buying for the last 3 years. I brought up APLD, Larry, when it was $3 on my show, when it broke out at $3, right? It's $30. All that you could have just been buying these plays. Now, you do want to identify good plays, and you don't want, I talked to a guy, Larry, at the Hampton, Virginia, who had been getting into a stock that it's only ever gone down. It's just a dog, and it's been going down for years, and he keeps buying the dip perpetually. It's okay to buy stocks when they move sideways,
right?
We saw PayPal, right, has been in a 3 to 4 year consolidation going sideways, right? And I said, guys, today's the day. It's based. It's going to rocket. It just so happened the very next day it rocketed, and every day since it's been rocketing.
AMD was a dog.
AMD was a dog. Yeah. So, you got to be careful. And there are certain stocks that you can keep buying as they move sideways. And you know what? And I think all of us, and I've said it tonight with Oklo, right? I should never have sold a share. It's very important to identify your winners. And all of us, as we get further along in the journey, I think each of us would say we want to hold our winners longer. So thank you, Kenan. Good advice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. DCAing is just think Warren Buffett when you go out there, what 90-something% of his money is going into the S&P 500 or the Qs, whatever, when he dies. That's how he wants it managed. That tells you everything you need to know for the money he's given his significant other. Yeah. And he, I know he's donating a lot, but the money he's keeping in the family doesn't want actively managed. He wants it just like Kenan always preaches. He wants it just in the nice S&P 500 or whatever it was, NASDAQ ETF, and don't touch it. And he always challenged people, beat the S&P 500 over a certain amount of time, and I'll bet you $1 million you can't. and they couldn't beat them over the long run. And so that, there's a lot of wisdom there. And so I do agree with that. All right, folks, I appreciate everyone being here. I hope you guys got some good knowledge out of this. Make sure you go down and subscribe to, or come over and join the Discord with us. And we will see you next time.
Love you guys.
Peace.